Nick Mingione, student athletes Trey Kuzer, Ryan Nicholson, and Emilian Petrie. Coach, when you're ready, an opening statement.
The guy to my left was amazing tonight. Picked the perfect time to throw one of his best games in a Kentucky uniform. Just that lineup, I have so much respect for that coaching staff. That lineup is amazing. And through 7 innings, as you guys know, no earned runs, had a couple walks, couple 2-out walks, did not let it affect him, and just kept going. Absolutely amazing performance by him and Jackson Novi. And our deal starts and ends with our pitching and defense, and he got us going good. We defended at a super high level, and offensively, I thought we did a really good job against their starter, who is an amazing pitcher, amazing. And we scratched and clawed, did everything we could just to get 3. And I thought we just waited it out and finally got our big inning in the 7th. Included everything that we do offensively. So great night. Thank you for the fans. Felt them. Unbelievable environment, unbelievable energy. Just again, the gates open up and people are running to their seats. Pretty amazing, and we're very thankful.
All right, questions for the student athletes?
Daniel Hager, Kentucky Sports Radio. Trey, another quality start for you tonight. 7 innings, just 1 hit, 8 strikeouts. Since the regular season ended, 19 innings against Arkansas, Illinois, and then tonight in the postseason. Just do you feel like you've kind of taken a step up since the regular season ended?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I've just been trying to do the same thing. It's just worked out better for me, honestly. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, I've just been doing the same thing I've been trying to do all season, and it's just worked out a lot better for me this postseason.
Yeah.
Dylan Valor to Sea of Blue. Trey, talk us through when 1 out, bases loaded, and you guys are only up a run at that time. And you kind of worked through that there and facing really the heart of their lineup. Just take us through that and how you kind of got through, and then you go on to pitch a couple more innings.
Yeah, just trusting my stuff. I mean, letting them try to get. I was trying to get a ground ball, get a double play, and then I don't really remember how that inning ended, but whatever I did, I was just focused on throwing strikes and filling up the zone.
How much focus did it take?
Oh, a lot.
You missed the throw to second.
Yeah, that
outfield, and then kind of have to refocus.
that kind of threw me off for a second, but I mean, I smiled and get back on there, and just Coach Roselle came out and had a good visit with me, and just told me to just attack the zone, get back to what I was doing.
Yeah, second round.
Brian Hoots, United We Stand. You seem to do a good job mixing your pitches tonight. Was that kind of your game plan going in, or did you fall into a rhythm and kind of get comfortable and confident in doing that?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Roselle calls a great game, and he allows us to choose whatever we want to pitch. If we want to choose a different pitch, we're allowed to, but I think he was calling a great game and switching it up just how we've been doing.
Jeff?
Trey, some guys may kind of hit a wall at this time of year, or the arm may be feeling tired, but you look like you're getting stronger here lately. Kind of, what do you attribute that to, if you feel that way?
Coach Jones, our weight trainer, he gets us right in the weight room, and then just staying on the same program and just getting my running and lifting in and making sure my arm's right. And the training room staff also, they help as well.
John?
Trey, you obviously don't start the season in the weekend rotation. What was the moment this year where you realized, like, I'm an ace of an SEC team, the #2 team in the country, that I can really do this, and boy, I've been doing it recently?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't really say that I felt that I was like an ace. I mean, I just felt like I was just another good addition to the starting rotation. And I think after the Ole Miss game, maybe, is whenever I felt like I really solidified the role, or just felt like I could go back out there and keep doing the same thing week after week.
Dylan Valor to Sea of Blue. Ryan, you had a big night, went 3 for 5. One went over the fence, one almost went over the fence. Just talk about how focused you are right now in this postseason and the role you're kind of fulfilling right now.
Well, I think the focus really just goes to winning ball games. I think, especially in postseason, everything is magnified, inning to inning, pitch to pitch. So you really just separate everything, and you basically just hone in on that one single pitch, and you slow your breathing down. It's a lot of self-talk. But it's all about just, I'm not trying to hit a home run in that situation that whatever went off the wall. Like, there's a guy in third with less than 2. I'm trying to get him in any way possible and get it done early. So that was that was really what I was trying to do there, and that's where the ball went, and I was just happy to get the run in, really.
Yeah. Dick?
Pete, 10-0, it's the biggest win in UK history so far, yet it expires at midnight. How tough is that going to be to put that in the rearview mirror? How much time you got, Coach?
It's 9:35.
Yeah, so we got 2.5 hours, but we've been doing it all year long. So we're gonna come back out here tomorrow and attack like we've been doing all season long. So.
Emilian, you guys were up just 1-0 in the 5th, and you delivered with the 2-run double. Just how important do you think that was in kind of shifting the momentum in your guys' way?
I think it was huge. Having Brian and Devo in between me is huge. He's arguably one of the best hitter in the country in front of me, and Devo, who's just grinds at bat. So it makes my job a lot easier. And I got a curveball and didn't miss it. So yeah.
Right, Joe Freeman with the Oregonian. Your homer was kind of the dagger there, and kind of a nice scene and celebration afterwards. You kind of soaked it in. Can you describe that moment and what was going through your mind then?
I don't think there was anything that I could really comprehend that was going through my mind, other than like, this is pretty sweet. Yeah, I mean, I was just lucky enough to get one out of there and go bridge, and then we look up at the board and we got Novi going in, and just had the utmost confidence of him going in there. It's really just like, that was sweet, cool. Just go out there and play defense now.
Yeah, Tony?
So this is for any of you guys. Coach alluded to the fans out there tonight in the packed stadium. There's a few times they kind of really got into it. Just maybe you guys allude on what it means to have that fan base behind you and the scene kind of that's been going on at Kentucky Proud Park through this postseason.
I mean, it kind of just keeps. I mean, I don't know what inning it was, but they started doing the blue-white chant, and I mean, that's the most I've heard it. Because I mean, I think their fans started cheering or something like that. So then we started the blue-white, and it just kept getting louder and louder, and it just helps push you. And then like strikeouts, and like when we get 0-2 on a guy, whether you strike him out or not, they're still standing up for every pitch, clapping, and it's awesome. It's cool to feel that.
I think it's cool on both sides of the ball. Obviously, offensively, like, it's great to have him behind us. I think defensively, it's huge. I think it's almost like having an extra defender out there. They really can flip momentum. You know, Pooh's case a guy to end the side, and, you know, everyone's rowdy, and I think that momentum really helps fuel us to get some runs on the board offensively. So definitely, like, the transitioning from defense to offense, I think, is massive, especially with our crowd.
Aaron Gershon, Cats Balls. After you scored on the sack bunt by Daly, did you kind of feel like you guys had sped them up a little bit? Because after that, outside of Ryan Martin, there was a lot of small ball, a lot of bases, chaos play.
Yeah, definitely. That's the kind of baseball we play. We create chaos, whether it's on the bases or on defense. But yeah, definitely, I felt like they were expecting it, but not ready for it. And I think that's what we do to teams. We shock them, whether it's on offense or defense. So.
Yeah, John?
For either of the two hitters, it looked like you were kind of chuckling during a few of Trey's answers there. Can you just describe what you've done today and throughout the season for you guys since he moved into the rotation?
I think it was, I forget who I was telling this to, it was like, he's like one of the best pitchers like in the country that like nobody knows about. And the guy just he goes out there and he shoves, and he just, you know, he doesn't really talk about it. He's not a boastful guy. You know, he's all about the team, but like, he just goes out there with a smile on his face, and he goes and, you know, gets outs for the guys behind him. And I think me and Petey, I think I can speak for Petey that we both love that.
Yeah. I think Coach Midge would agree with me. That's what a Kentucky pitcher looks like.
Exactly. Thank you, Pete. Thank you.
Attacks, works really fast, and has a really slow heartbeat on the mound. And that's what we teach here. So.
Yeah, one more. Jeff?
Trey, Bezana is kind of their version of Ryan Waldschmidt at the top of the order there. You did a real nice job keeping him off the bases early. How big of a key was that to you when you kind of approach your game plan and attack that?
Just trying to fill the zone as much as possible, obviously. But I mean, just trying to get the swing and miss. Obviously, he didn't fall for some of the pitches I threw. But what did he do today? To be honest, I mean, I don't know.
I got it. He grounded out, hit a hard ground ball his first at bat, right?
Yeah.
And then the big one was with they had a runner at first base and he lined out.
Yeah,
You got
Yeah.
the line out.
Yeah.
And then you punched him out one time.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
he hit 2 barrels.
yeah.
But you got him out. You got him out.
Get a battle foul.
Here you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I mean, just try not to let him get his big swing off, I guess.
Did an awesome job of it.
Yeah.
Coach.
Yeah. Guys, you guys know this, but you've heard me talk about Pete over and over, and I've told you he's as good as players I've coached. And I just want you guys, and you guys all know this, but he truly impacted the game today in every single possible way. I don't know if you guys remember in the second inning, they hit the big hop ground ball, and he ran straight in and had to throw the ball on a weird angle. Do you guys remember that play? That was an unbelievable play. He drew 2 walks. He had a huge RBI hit in the middle of the field. He stole a base, and he scored on a bunt. It was by like inches. He literally impacted the game on every level. He did everything, everything. And I've been watching this for 2 straight years. The guy is an amazing baseball player. And Ryan Nicholson is just, I don't know if you guys, he impacted the game on a defensive end. I don't know if you remember the hard hit ball to his right where he speared it. Ryan, talking about a slow heart rate, man, that dude has a slow heart rate. And, you know, these 2 guys don't show a ton of emotion. Now, Nicholson will give you a little more. You just got to earn it from him. Like, if you earn it, then he'll give it to you. And, but Ryan, I told you guys this, it's one of the 2 major things that's happened to our team and why we've done so good offensively is because of what he's been able to do. And it started in that Georgia series, and the guy has not looked back. He has gotten big hit after big hit after big hit. And he has been super clutch. And, you know, Poos, Ryan, he said that really well. He's like the best pitcher nobody knows about. And because he's so unselfish, he does nothing to draw attention to himself. All he does is make pitch after pitch, and he smiles when something doesn't go wrong. And I'm just telling you, you have real toughness. If you can stand on the mound, and that mound can be a lonely place where everybody's watching, and when something doesn't go your way, the guy just sits there and just smiles. And he shakes his head, and he goes on to the next thing. He is exactly what Pete said. He's exactly what a UK pitcher looks like, and he executes at a super high level. So this night would be totally different if it wasn't for these 3 men, and we had others, but whew, unbelievable performances by all 3.
Thanks, guys. You're free to go.
Yep. Gotta hydrate now.
Oh, yeah.
This is, Pete, great job, man.
Thank you. All right, we'll do questions for Coach. John first. John Clay.
Nick, John Clay, Herald Leader. You've given up 1 run in the last 3 tournament games. We're talk about hitters feeding off each other. Do pitchers feed off of each other? When one pitcher pitches well, the other comes in and pitches well?
You know, you've heard me talk over and over about Pete. He's so smart. He is so smart. And what he said about Poos is like, that's what a Kentucky pitcher looks like. And we have a pitching identity that we truly believe in. And we're supposed to work fast. We're going to throw low strikes. We're going to control the running game. But Mason and the guys before him, that is us at our best. And Coach Rozelle has called an unbelievable, the last 4 games, he has been unbelievable with the game he's called. And he's had our guys ready. And there is momentum that builds. And we often talk about showing the roadmap. Someone needs to be able to step up and show what it's supposed to look like. And we talk a lot about our pitching staff and how they look. The behavioral piece is so important to us. And we've had a lot of guys do it at a high level. And for us to do what we want to do, that's what has to happen. And you guys have heard me say over and over, that's where it starts. It starts on the mound for us. And we've had a lot of guys, and I give Coach Rozelle a lot of credit. He has just had these guys ready to go and give the players the credit for executing.
Even singling out the bullpen, like Novi comes in tonight, 2 innings, strikes out 4 of the 6 guys. Cam O'Brien last week, Robert Hogan the game before that. Just how big have those guys been?
They've been unbelievable. And it doesn't matter, you guys have heard me say this before, but the most important pitcher is the guy on the mound at that time. And it doesn't matter who it is or what role. Every inning and every pitch matters. And I will say this, I don't know if you guys have seen this, it'd be hard to miss because I have recruits telling me this, but Devin Burks has been unbelievable back there. There's times where I just feel like he is willing our pitchers to make something happen. He's willing them. His nonverbal communication, his verbal communication, and then the guys on the infield have really played a role in that too. And at the end of every game, I always give the team opportunities to speak. And if they have anything that they want to share, and they often talk about our infielders. They talk about Mitch Daly being in their ear. They talk about Grant Smith being in their ear, Pete, Ryan Nicholson, Devin. It's like there really is a 9-versus-1 mentality. But there's guys, their verbal and their nonverbal communication is off the charts. And when you have a bunch of guys pulling on the same rope, trying to execute the same thing, it's worked out well for us.
Nick, Trey talked about it a little bit, but in the 5th inning there, the hit by pitch and the error, how loads the bases, 1 out, 2-3 hitter, how was he able to just slow the heart rate down and get out of that? Because that's almost an impossible spot.
Yeah, let's walk through that. I thought he got the guy first and got the comebacker and he threw it away. Okay? Well, then they attempted to bunt. Okay? And they didn't get the bunt down and he ended up striking him out. And it rolled back to the top. And now they have one of the greatest players in all of college baseball up. And he pitched him tough, and he ended up walking him. So now we got the bases loaded. So here we go again. And I asked our team this, like, what did we need in that moment? We needed a punch out. And he got the strikeout. And then he got the ground ball out. So it was to Daly who threw him out at second. So it was just that moment in the game where it comes time where you have to make pitches. And he did it at the highest level. He landed multiple pitches, threw his fastball to different spots, and threw 2 different off-speed pitches in those sequences to get the 3 outs. And that was a huge moment in the game. That was the opportunity that we needed to put our foot down and stop the bleeding, and sure enough, he did.
Nick, both you and Ryan said Trey's the best pitcher nobody's talking about. Since he didn't start in the rotation, did you also not know he was this good early on? Or was there something that, that went into those decisions?
I've been wrong a lot. But I would tell you that we're not surprised because if you think about early in the year, we do something that we started a handful of years ago and we piggyback pitchers. So early in the year, because of weather and other factors, and we want to protect our guys to get them to the end of the year. So we piggyback guys. So that means on Friday, we already know who the first 2 guys that are going to throw are. And we build up their pitch counts. So we would throw Travis first, and we always came in with Poozer right behind him. We piggyback them because we felt like at the time those were the 2 best arms that we had for that day. And we liked how they mix and matched and they played off of each other. So we really did throw him on Friday nights. We threw him on Fridays because we knew how good he was. Now, did I know that he was going to end up being a starter and be 7-1? I would not have predicted that because we didn't know what was going to happen with Travis. But boy, has he taken an unbelievable opportunity and just ran with it.
And how important is it to get through the first game of the Super Regional just using 2 guys?
Yeah, that was big. That was big, especially because, guys, I have so much respect for this coaching staff, and this team is amazing. They're a really good team. And tomorrow will not be easy. I mean, these guys are competitive. They're tough. They know how to win. Everybody. I mean, you just go through that lineup, and you just look. But for us to use 2 guys, I thought that was big because, when we're at our best, this has been our formula as our starters take us, much like them. That's how they're built. They're starters. Just go and go and go. And anytime you can use 2 guys in a game, that is absolutely crucial and helps set us up for the next 2 days.
Down here.
Coach, you said that your approach is, you got till midnight tonight, and then tomorrow it's back to work.
Absolutely.
Well, tomorrow you'll probably be sitting at this podium after midnight. Talk about the late start and how that changes preparation for tomorrow, or kind of what your plan is going into tomorrow's day.
That's so funny you bring that up because the guys asked me that this week. When they announced, we do, something we do with the team is, I call it, we talk about the elephant in the room. And I always want to have an open line of communication with the players. And anytime we communicate very highly going into regionals about what's at stake, I make sure that they know, hey, even with the SEC, going into the last weekend, I just put all the cards on the table and said, hey, if we do this and this and this is what will happen. And if this team does this and this is what will happen. This will be who will be champions, who won't. We just lay it all out. And then we say, okay, we're not talking about that anymore. We're going to focus on what it takes to win. Okay? Well, when those times came out, I said, does anybody have any questions? Do we need to talk about anything? I explained to them about, hey, 9 p.m., West Coast team, ton of respect, viewership, everything, whatever I thought was the reason why. And I don't remember who it is. I can find out eventually because I know you're going to ask, and I don't remember. And one of the guys raised their hand and say, Coach, what if we win on Sunday? It's after midnight. Can we celebrate? And I said, I need to think about that. I was like, if that happens, I'll discuss and talk to the staff, and we may need to add an extension in some time. And if that happens and we go to Omaha, we'll put ourselves on Omaha time, and I might give you, depending on how long they get, you might have 45 minutes. And I was like, but we're going to move on because our goal is not just to make it to Omaha. Our goal is to be what? And they also national champions. And they asked about that. So we just covered it with the team. I made sure that I did not want them to lay around all day. I asked them to go for a walk and get out. I asked, hey, do I need to set a time where you guys need to come here so you're not laying around and sleeping all day? And they said, no, Coach, we got it. And I can tell you this, that this is a group of men that I just trust, and I believe they'll do the right thing. And they're going to get a good night's rest. They're already eating Puccini's. That's what we have for the team meal, and they're going to eat and show up tomorrow and try to do something that's never been done.
Over here on the right.
Ron left the Courier Journal. Nick, there in that opening statement, you mentioned just how amazing that lineup is to go throughout. Just when you look at, they rank in the top 10 in so many offensive categories. Can you expand on how incredible a pitching performance was from your whole staff to shut out a team like that for the first time this year?
Yeah, that's why I just, Trey, I can't say it enough. I mean, he was magnificent. I mean, I don't know any other words. I mean, you guys could think of some because, those are good players in that other dugout, man. They know how to win. They're coaches. They're awesome. And to do that is not easy. It's not easy, but it takes everybody. I thought he was great. Novi was great. As I mentioned, Coach Rozelle, our defense. Pete made a great play. I thought Grant made a good play going to his right, had some good carry on his throw. James made 2 good plays on a line drive down the line, and then the high pop-up where he had to run in. Waldy's play was awesome. Against their leadoff hitter, they had a guy, it's about to get over his head. He sat on initially. The ball just took off because of how strong he is, and he made that play to end the inning. But we needed all of those plays. We needed them all. So it was a special, special performance on the mound, as good as one as we've had all year.
Dick.
Kind of an odd situation with the pitch that went behind Nolan, and now here come the warnings, and y'all had some long discussions because I guess if one of you guys gets run, you don't play, you're not allowed to be there tomorrow night. Can you tell us what you all discussed? Because that was really weird.
The ball went behind him, and both teams got warnings.
Right.
And they did that just to try to calm the situation. And I don't think he tried to hit him. I really don't. I don't think he would do that, especially in this environment, that situation. And so the umpires just wanted to make sure nothing else happened. And I thought they did a good job of settling both teams down.
Nick, I know it's far from the ultimate goal, but you talk about things you've never done before. It's the first super regional win in program history. Is that something I'll acknowledge post-game that you have to appreciate, at least it's something you guys have never done?
I didn't even know that. Yeah, we went 0-2 the last
2, yeah.
I didn't even think, we just...
They got 2 hours left.
2 hours and 6 minutes. 2 hours and 6 minutes. I'm thankful. It just means we're one step closer to where we want to be. And you don't do that without amazing players. And I thought our coaches were great. I told you about Coach Rozelle. I thought Ammo did an awesome job creating all kinds of havoc and pressure there in the 7th, all those runs. That inning had legitimately everything that we like to do. It had home run, it had a bunt, it had stolen bases, it had wild pitches. It was everything. And it's one thing to execute, it's another thing to call it. And Coach Ammo had the courage and guts to call a lot of those plays and give the players credit. They executed it at a super, super high level. We just got a lot of production up and down our lineup too. When you think about how many different guys scored a run, we had 8 of the 9 guys in our lineup score a run, and even Grant Smith down there at the bottom scored 2 runs. and James was 4 for 4 in quality at bats. So it was just a total team effort, and it was everybody contributed to our offense tonight, everybody, and that's a good pitching staff too. You know, there's a lot to be said. I've talked and complimented how well they are offensively, but boy, they can really pitch, and I think that starter, I mean, is he draft eligible next year?
This year, he was
This
top
year?
82 prospect.
I mean, this guy, he's going to be able to pitch for a really long time. He's a really good pitcher.
Yeah, 2 more here, Dylan and then Jeff.
Coach, we saw that your team didn't have as much celebration at the end of the regionals we had seen the year before. You talked about your experience last year, you guys going 0-2. How does it help you having these older guys, having that experience last year, seeing a little calmer after this first win tonight? Let's talk about the experience and how that helps you and just the different mentality this year opposed to last year.
Yeah, I've said this before, but it just helps to have guys that have been there and done that before. And really the first time I ever learned that is, you know, I played my college baseball at Embry-Riddle in Daytona Beach, and Coach Greg Williams gave me an opportunity of a lifetime where he allowed me to come and be his volunteer coach in 2003. Well, in 2003, we made it to the College World Series. And we had some guys back on that team. So in 2004, we made it to the College World Series again. And then in 2005, we returned some of those guys. And we made it to the College World Series again. 3 years in a row, and we actually played for the national championship in 2005 in the NAIA World Series. And we ended up losing. But it just taught me the importance of having guys that have been there and done that and how much that helps. And that's what we have right now. We have a core group of guys, pitchers and positional players both, that have been there and done that. So therefore, their goals have changed, and they want to do something that's never been done.
Yeah, last one, Jeff.
Nick, you touched on it briefly, but proud program, a lot of great players in that other dugout.
Yeah.
To a man, each one of them came up before you guys were on and said, we're going to respond, we're going to fight. Do you anticipate the second game of this being one of the hardest games of your season?
Yeah, with how much respect I have for Oregon State and their players and their coaches, I fully expect every game to be competitive. Whether that's this one or if it even goes to a third one, the teams that are left right now are really tough and good baseball teams. So I fully expect tomorrow to be an absolute dogfight. And that's what I expected today, and that's what I expect for the rest of the year. Because obviously this is what it comes down to. Everybody is fighting to do something. They'll be fighting to keep their season alive, and we're fighting to go to Omaha. And if it doesn't work out tomorrow, then we'll be fighting to keep our season alive on Monday. So I fully expect it to be a dogfight, and it will not be easy. I do know that because of how good of a team that Oregon